What's going on, world? It's your boy Kuyapi. This is Nerds Rule the World. I have the one, the only Heather Hertz squad in the building. We've been clamoring for this film ever since some stills got posted from the set in all of their 80s glory, high fashion. Or is it high fashion, or is it what kind of fashion were they? They're in pink.
They're called Barbie fashion.
Barbie fashion.
Barbie fashion.
We were excited to see it, and we've been dying for this. We have the teaser trailer, y'all, for Barbie. Heather, I've been dying to watch this. I haven't seen this yet. You ready to check this out?
Let's do it. Let me do it with my mic on.
Let's go.
Since the beginning of time, since the first little girl ever existed, there have been dolls.
This is not what I
But
expected.
the dolls were always and forever baby dolls.
Oh my gosh.
Until...
Wow. I love the fonts, the Barbie fonts. Go ahead, Margot. Wow. Oh my gosh, such a tease. Okay. The teaser trailer, that's what it said, y'all. We got the teaser trailer.
Teaser trailer.
Ah so I just really well done. I love how we're not giving it to y'all yet, but we're gonna do a little something very epic, like how the difference of history and women's women adjacent. What am I? How I'm trying to think the proper words here.
Toys, girls' toys.
Yeah, but it wasn't also girls' toys because boys played with it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where I just want to be accepted for everybody that of what this is. I loved Barbie, and I used to raid my sister's Barbie mansion with my GI Joes, and I would take her Barbies and do all kind of stuff. It was Barbie is for everybody, and I love that this film is getting made, and that was a pretty dope how they did that trailer and presenting the differences of how toys made for young girls were made, and then how Barbie kind of changed the map. But then yet we're getting this wild, true Barbie or crazy Barbie story that's kind of maybe set in that universe. I'm all in. Shout out to Greta Gerwig, man. I think we're gonna get art here, and obviously by the trailer we got art. She's gonna give us what we love about Barbie, but also probably tell us something. She's gonna mix some things together that I can't wait. I'm ready to dive in. What about you, Heather? What did you take from that? That's what I'm taking from it.
So if you've watched any Barbie documentary, most of them are available on streaming. We've got one on Hulu and one on Netflix right now. But I actually got really deep into the comic book trenches with this trailer actually. So I have a very important question to ask. So you see, there is what we see there at the beginning. We know that historically, what toys were for girls, and I'm going to gender define this because gender is an actual very new concept. In the late 1800s, basically, is when we truly began defining gender. So what we did is we had girls' toys versus boys' toys, and those girls' toys were always baby dolls because women were supposed to grow up and be mothers, and that's what you were supposed to have. But then we got Barbie, and Barbie and toys and action figures like that were toys that were supposed to help girls define who they wanted to be, whether it was motherhood or otherwise. But it also really calls back to the certain sex doll that Barbie was based off of. Bill Lilly was a German. She was actually a gag doll, but she was made for men, and she was a main character in her own stories. And you know what those stories were? They were comics. They were
Okay.
originally in Build newspapers. She first appeared in the very first issue of Build newspaper, aka Build Lily. And then she was transitioned into a doll after she got all this, fan love and everything. So here's the question. Build Lily started as a comic. She then became a doll, which inspired Barbie, which inspired the movie. Does that make Barbie a comic film?
Wow. You know what? I would have to say, yeah. Yeah. And to get into comics, talk, hey, I love comics. Right? One of my favorite comics of all time, indie wise, and is an indie book, is a little book called Pro by Amanda Connor, who
Jimmy Palmiotti.
Jimmy Palmiotti
Garth Ennis.
and Garth Ennis that I absolutely loved. And I don't know if I knew that at the time, but when I started deep diving into creators, because I like to support the creators behind those comic books that I love, Amanda Connor was on the Barbie comic, y'all, and it was just outstanding. And I actually pulled old Barbie comics to get them, and then as my daughter got older and she got into Barbie, she started collecting Barbie comics, and I actually, when I would come across the Barbie comics and would buy it for her, and I noticed that some of them were drawn by Amanda, I'd want to check out those because I love Amanda's art style.
Love Amanda Connor.
And it was just so wild because, Pro is so amazing, right? And just seeing her kind of see that and her take on that, and just seeing her kind of do the Barbie stuff, to create your own subcontext within the story while reading that, just how wild she could have, if they could have gone another way with it. I just love Amanda Connor's work, and anyway, I'm off on a tangent, but read Pro, y'all. I highly recommend Pro.
Pro is a lot of fun. They are trying to turn it in. It has been picked up, by the way. Pro has been picked up. I believe Amazon is trying to work with it right now.
That would be amazing.
And of course, Jimmy Palmiotti, I think, also announced a new Kickstarter for that series. So if you check on the interwebs, it's a lot of fun. It's a very fun, little, cute short story about what would happen if prostitutes, if sex workers were superheroes. Like, why can't they be?
Good. Yeah.
But do you want to hear a fun Amanda Connor Barbie comic story from me?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this is more Pro than Barbie, but we'll get there. So when I was working at my first shop, we got a Barbie comic in of no great value. It was I think a number 2 comic. So it was worth like $10, but it wasn't like a great issue. But it went up on our specialty shelf to really just shout out that it was a fun Barbie issue. And Amanda Connor's art is on the cover. And I had a mother come in and pick it up. She's like, oh, it sounds like a really fun. I read my daughter comics to sleep. Okay, great. She comes in 2 days later. She returns and she's like, I would like to just replace this with something else. And I was just like, okay, what? It was just like, is everything okay? Is everything? And she's like, open the book. And I was just, so I pulled it out of the sleeve. I opened the book. Porn. Someone removed the staples, pulled off the cover of the Barbie issue, and restapled it on where it was either a kid or a really raunchy adult who just wanted to read it in public, but like super duper raunchy ass porn. And this poor woman, who usually, she does that, the I'm going to read and then show thing. She couldn't do that, of course, but she got this comic, and apparently reading her daughter to sleep, she was just like, and Barbie said, good night. We'll read a new comic tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. That I wish I could have seen her face when that happened.
If I don't know where she is, I haven't, it's literally been almost 10 years since that happened, but it's one of those where she was very polite. She's like, clearly y'all didn't know. And she's like,
that was very sweet of her to not be mad at y'all.
Yeah, but she's just like, can I replace this? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. Because, sometimes people are like, oh, it was your fault. You should have. Yeah. That's wow. Good on you for the way how that was handled and just all of that, and her for being a good customer, because customers can also be kind of crazy in the retail business. Wow. Anyway, Barbie. That's nuts. That's a crazy story. But Barbie, I love Barbie. Again, I grew up with Barbie, taking my Joes, raiding the Barbie mansion, and and just playing with the Barbies. You know what? Because Joes at one time were the size of Barbies. At one point until they shrunk them down to the 3 3/4 inches and everything as well, and had the same kind of costumes and uniforms that you could get. The Action Man line from what I'm trying to recall as well. And then the comics and the cartoons. I know as of late the on Netflix, the Life in the Dream House, Barbie Life in the Dream House stuff. My wife and daughter watched religiously. Some of the best like humor in there, like hilarious. I don't know if you've caught it, Heather, but the Life in the Dream House stuff was super good and super knew what it was. Contemporary humor, just good writing. I enjoyed it. Then you have the Barbie movies that are really geared towards kids. Those are what they are, and some good ones in there, also some bad ones, but there are certain audience there. But I'm excited for this. Greta Gerwig, great filmmaker. Margot Robbie, insane, outstanding. Who else is in there? We got Simu Liu. Who's the our Ken? His name is escaping me.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Is it Jake Gyllenhaal?
It's Jake Gyllenhaal.
I thought it was, what's his name? The dude that.
It's the one that we always get mixed up with Jake Gyllenhaal. Hold on.
Yeah.
They all the white men look the same.
Yeah, not the one who. It's not Jake. I know it's not Jake.
No, it's Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
The other Jake Gyllenhaal.
I could see how they could be. I'm curious. Yeah, if you would take and make Jake blonde, I'm sure they would probably look very much the same. Like
look exact. I honestly thought I like you saw me. I honestly thought it was him. It was like, wait, no, it's not.
But sorry. I never realized that though, that they could be.
So now exactly I'm like
in a twisted Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Gosling world. They could be one and the same. Wow. Thank you for that, Heather.
What can I say? They all look the same.
We got Issa Rae in there. I noticed her, who we hadn't noticed before. I didn't know Simu was going to be in this. I'm ready for this, Heather. How about you?
Absolutely. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. A classic 80s banger. That's what it's going to be.
All in. All right. If y'all want to talk all things Barbie, recommendations, Pro, I could talk your ears off about Pro. I really enjoy that. Shout out again, Amanda Connor, Garth Ennis, Jimmy Palmiotti, and Barbie. Yeah, like I love Barbie. And I'm excited for this. Margot, this is up my alley. Can't wait to talk all about it. Hopefully we can get some things going on with NRW, with the cast and production. Stay tuned. We'll do our best. Heather, how can they talk all things Barbie, Pro, comics, anything with you?
Sure, you can. Let's chat on if Barbie is an actual comic movie at Nerd is a Heather on Twitter or at Heather is a Nerd on Hive, TikTok, and IG.
Totally with you. Comic movie all the way. Sorry, you're with the comic movie.
Oh, that's where you landed. I will reach as far as I can to say a movie is a comic movie.
All right, Heather. And for me, it's the Legend Queen P on Twitter, TikTok, IG, Hive, and of course here with Heather and the whole squad at the NRW Annual Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. We're out of here, y'all.